Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to the video. Today's vehicle is an absolutely filthy 2010 GMC Yukon. It's in for a full detail, so let's have a look around. Alright, so with this Yukon having over 420,000 kilometers on it, and the exterior looking pretty grungy all over, it's safe to say it hasn't been properly detailed for a really long time, if ever, and overall just looks really neglected. Now moving inside, and this is where the fun starts and why this Yukon has earned the disaster detail status, is there is an absolute pile of dirt and debris all over the vehicle, including some kids' toys and old food. The carpets are stained pretty well everywhere you look. The cup holders are a disgusting mess. The seats are gross and stained, and the headliner and visor are nasty too. But just before we jump into one of the biggest details that I've ever done, take a second and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy epic transformations, and make sure you've got the bell on so you get notified when my new videos go live each week. All right, so you guys can see I've definitely got my work cut out for me with this Yukon. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the transformation. Okay, so once again, before I get started, I'm doing an ozone treatment on the vehicle to remove odors and eliminate any bacteria or viruses. And then while I work on the exterior, the ozone can dissipate before I have to spend any time in there. Now you guys might notice as I'm spraying the vehicle off here that the bottom portion of the doors under the trim and around the wheel wells has what I assume to be plasti dip on it, so it doesn't come quite as clean with the pressure washer, but it certainly will when I wash the vehicle later on. Moving to the back here, and I figured I would give you guys a bit of the background on the vehicle. So like I said in the opening, it has 423,000 kilometers on it, which is about 263,000 miles. So for only being about 10 years old, it's been driven a ton, but not many of those were by the owner, as they recently bought it for their growing family off someone who had purchased it purely for parts, but that guy never ended up doing anything with it, so they were able to pick it up pretty cheap, and they're getting it fully detailed now so they can use it as the main kid hauler for their family. And I also figured I'd let you know that I was able to film the owner's reaction when she picked up the vehicle, so make sure you stick around for that. It's a good one. Now, one unknown with every vehicle that comes in dirty like this is what condition it's in underneath all the dirt. And surprisingly, this Yukon's paint is pretty good, not swirled too much, although it does have a few rust spots on it, but for a high mileage vehicle, it does look pretty good. Here's a perfect example of how important it is to have one of these undercarriage sprayers. As you can see, there's a bunch of dirt stuck underneath the running board that would have otherwise been missed. If you're curious as to where you can get one of these, I've got the link in the description for you, and as you can see, they work really well. Alright, so getting some nice thick foam on this Yukon, I'll then go around with a detail brush and hit all the crevices where there is bound to be some dirt or debris still hiding that needs to be agitated out. Alright, so with the vehicle washed, I can get a sense of how dirty the paint is, and to be blunt, it's filthy and covered in iron particles, especially on the tailgate. So using some of my Meguiar's iron decon spray, I'll spray that on the wheels and paint, letting it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes, and what it's doing is reacting with and dissolving those iron particles, turning purple when it does. And as you can see, there wasn't a square inch of this paint that was actually clean. This was definitely the most purple that I've ever turned a vehicle, so after that, I'll quickly get it rinsed off before going ahead and drying the vehicle. Alright, with the outside clean, it's time to start on the massive job that this interior is going to be. And first thing I have to do is get the seats out, because I can guarantee that there is a pile of filth waiting for me under there. And while I was doing this, I couldn't help but think back to the disaster Cadillac Escalade that I detailed last fall, as this Yukon is built very similar, so it's nice getting a vehicle in that I already know how to dismantle and how to attack it in terms of cleaning the interior. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, go check it out and then let me know in the comments which one you think was dirtier. Although with everything out, now I'm kind of thinking it might be this Yukon. Now as I work my way through here with the vacuum, making sure to get all the old French fries, I'm making mental notes about how I'm going to attack each area later on, like these seat anchor points. I'll definitely be using the steamer on as they are super grimy. Now you guys can probably see that the carpets are looking a lot better as I get all the debris and the layer of dust sucked up, but I know from experience that there's still a ton of dirt hiding deeper down in the fibers, so even if they look good now, I can promise you they'll look even better once they've been extracted. Now up in the front footwells, you may have noticed from the opening shots that this vehicle didn't have any floor mats, which I think is a first for me. Usually they've got either carpet or rubber ones, but no floor mats means the carpets took the brunt of things and they're pretty filthy as a result. Now before I move on to cleaning any of the interior panels, I always go around with a detail brush to make sure I've got all the loose dirt and debris vacuumed up, so cleaning things later on will be far easier. Here's the massive pile of dirt, debris, and old French fries sucked out of this Yukon. Yikes. Now one of the obvious benefits of having the seats out is that it makes it a bit easier to extract, as not only can I see things better, but the sides and backs of the seats are easier to work on, And for those of you who might be wondering, as I saw a few comments on the last minivan video, yes, I do clean the entire seat, but obviously just don't film everything that I do in a vehicle, as the videos would be way too long. Here's a quick before and after on this seat, and boom, it looks brand new again. Moving back inside to the dirty carpets, and like I've mentioned before, I always start with the carpet, as when I use the drill brush it tends to fling solution in a nice 360-degree circle. It sometimes gets on the trim, so rather than having to re-clean things later, I start with the carpet so I only have to do it once. And if you notice by the cargo anchor point where the extractor didn't quite fit, I will be cleaning that area with the steamer later on. So for those of you out there who are still wondering what my process is when I'm extracting, it's very simple in that I basically make passes spraying water down until I see the water coming through clear, and then I switch to just extracting to get things dry. Although for any stubborn stains or heavily soiled areas, I'll add more solution and repeat the process, but otherwise I just extract until the carpet is actually clean, however long that may take. Now for any of you out there who have a vehicle with dirty carpets or seats and want to tackle it yourselves, it can be easily done for under $200. You guys can see how well the combo of the carpet solution, drill brush, and Bissell works for me. So make sure you check out the links in the description. It's a small investment to make to keep your vehicle looking its best and something you can use over and over again. Now I've probably mentioned before, but I'll typically use a little more solution on carpets than I do on seats, as it's far easier to get the majority of it out. And in terms of how long it takes for them to completely dry, carpets are usually only a few hours as I leave the vehicle doors open and have my garage heater running. But I always start with the seats as they take a few hours longer, but they're always dry by the time I finish a detail. Here's the giant pail full of dirty water pulled from this Yukon and the nice layer of sludge at the bottom. Gross. Alright, so with a vehicle like this that has caked on dirt in every crevice imaginable, the easiest way to clean is with the steamer and some APC, as the steam can quickly loosen up any stuck on dirt and get it blasted out of hard to reach corners. Now, knowing I needed to steam the rear cup holder, I had to remove it from the vehicle as it would have made a mess on the carpet. And again, steam is really the only way to clean this effectively, as the dirt is so caked on and the crevices are small. So once it's loosened up, I'll use the detail brush to make sure I've got everything dislodged, and then I can simply wipe it all down with a microfiber towel. Alright, so moving to the nasty headliner and visor, and I'm once again opting for my McCulloch steamer. As you guys know, it makes quick work of everything, so with a variety of attachments I can get the years of grime cleaned up pretty easily, and then I'll simply just blot it dry with a microfiber towel. And again, if anyone wants to feel the pure enjoyment of blasting things with steam, be sure to give the McCulloch steamer a look. The link is in the description, along with nearly every other product and tool that I use. This thing is incredibly versatile and high quality, so it's definitely a tool I highly recommend. Now, with everything clean, here's a quick before and after shot of the interior, and it's honestly hard to tell that's the same vehicle. It looks so good. Now, not something I always do, but because I walked past these hazy headlights so many times, I couldn't stand leaving them like that. So I'm taking the 10 minutes or so and getting them polished up for the customer and looking new again. Now, despite using the iron decontamination spray earlier, like I mentioned, it only handles the iron particles, so things like tar or tree sap or any other sort of road grime will still be stuck to the paint. So using some detailing clay, it's able to remove that pretty easily, and as you can see, there was still a pile of crud on the tailgate. Now to dress the tires, I'm using CarPro Pearl diluted roughly 2:1, and then just quickly wiping any overspray off the rims. And with the detail done now, I'm doing another ozone treatment on the vehicle for the owner's protection. Nice to meet you.
Ooh, it looks sharp.
It looks really good.
That's just the outside.
Yeah. No, have a look inside. That's where the bulk of the work was. So.
Oh my goodness. How did you do it?
That's a lot of work.
No kidding. It looks great. Nice work.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. So. All right. Well, keys are in it, and enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so
good.
much. What a treat. This is super.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, and 15 hours later, I am done with this Yukon. It's looking absolutely incredible. It's definitely not a parts car anymore. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one.